All right, this is my buddy Travis Saddle. He's a pro fighter. Been training for me a long time. Real good, solid wrestler. Good ground and pound guy. He's going to be showing you how to do a calf slicer submission off. You've got one hook in. He attempts to take my back and get the other hook in. I block it. He's not able to take my back and get his hook in, so he's going to drop off and get the calf slicer. I'm going to show you how to counter the calf slicer. Okay, so you're going to get two submissions for one in this deal here. Okay, so this one's kind of common, but some people don't know it. But the one that I'm going to show you back is more uncommon and is actually really pretty cool. So I think a lot of people, well, some people learn from one, some people learn from both. Okay, so I'm in a turtle up position. He's got this first hook in. He tries to get to the other hook, but I'm blocking. Okay, so he's going to set off. He's going to turn. He gets that behind there. He gets his other foot on there, and he's pushed through. And he's not going to hold my ankle. He holds the top of my toes. And if he turns my toes in a little bit, like that, sucks right there. Yep. And pushes through the knee and the ankle and gets out. Okay. All right. So maybe try to walk around, get a better angle on it. Maybe this angle over here. Okay. Ready? Let's do it one more time. So he's got that hook in. I'm defending this one. I'm not letting him get it. He drops off. He breaks that down. He gets his feet together, and boom, pull my foot back, and he gets the calf slicer position. Okay. So hopefully you guys caught the details on what he's doing. Hooks in, he goes, slides down, his feet braced together so he push through the knee, grabbing on the foot, not the shin bone, and turn the foot like you're turning on a water hydrant. Turn it to the side to cause the break. Now I'm going to show you how to counter that when somebody does that to you. Okay, so I'm in this position. He's going to have that hook in. I'm defending the other hook. He drops off. He's got the calf slicer. And boom, he's cranking it. Crap, that's going to hurt. I'm going to turn, catch that arm, and I'm going to put him into this leg lock here and this arm bar here and break his knee here. Okay? All right, so let's show one more time. He gets that hook in. I'm defending this hook. He drops off. He's got the calf slicer. Oh, he's catching me good. I bring my hands underneath. I open this up. I control, get my feet together myself. Push through his knee joint. This is breaking this knee here. My thigh is actually going up to the ceiling like I'm bridging as my feet go down, and then I push this to get, let me let this go for a second. Feel it? And this is getting this arm bar at the same time. Okay, so you get the leg lock and the arm bar. You're kind of breaking the hip, the knee, and the elbow all at the same time. Okay, all right, so Travis, thanks. Okay, this is my buddy Kyle Jones and stuff. He trains with us, and also Gracie Baja in Walnut Ridge with Tommy Walker. We're going to be working on a very common counter to a counter. I'm going to be attacking for a guillotine from guard or an arming guillotine from guard. Specifically tonight, we're going to do an arming guillotine from guard, but it's going to work regardless on either one. But anyways, as I go and attack this, and I'm going to kind of go over the things I'm focused on doing that, but as I'm attacking this guillotine and trying to get his head bent down to his hip and get that curve in his body, he starts hand fighting. Maybe I've got MMA gloves on, they start slipping, or we've got some slick on the grip, or he's just a physically strong guy. But I can tell that he's going to hand fight and break my grip. And so instead of coming back and reestablishing guard or trying to do something different, this is a very easy counter with the guy hand fighting and starting to win the hand fight. So let's switch sides here. Okay, so I came in and I attacked. Are we going to be able to do this where we can, maybe we can see with this much stuff on. Anyway, so I've came in and I've got the guillotine here, and I'm in and I'm attacking, and I'm trying to come in and finish him, but he comes in and he hand fights, and I'm not able to get a good grip here. I'm not getting it tight. I'm trying to work it in, but I can tell that I'm going to lose my grip for whatever reason. So what I'm going to focus on doing, I get a little bit to my side here, really focusing on keeping his head in my armpit. I don't want to see any hair so that he pops his head out, okay? So I'm really focusing on getting my deltoid nice and high. And I'm kind of leaning over, bringing my chin over towards his spine. And I'm going to be focused on my left hand is going to be coming across and catching his elbow out here. My right hand, my thumb, is going to be hitchhiking right through his armpit. Okay, so he's holding my right hand here. As he pulls, I'm going to be holding. I'm going to wait for him to pull really hard. When he's committed to pulling, I'm going to pop that through. Okay, this hand can come through just like I'm catching a rear naked choke. I've got control of the elbow so he can't come back down and break my grip. See? I want to control that elbow and keep that in there, okay? Now I'm just going to bring my hips back under, and his head comes through, and it catches him in a neck crank by trying to just use my hips and lats to bring his head right through here, and then we'll get the tap here. Now, if he feels like he's extra limber in his shoulders or his neck or anything, we're just going to go ahead, come down, control that other elbow, sweep, plant my hand like I'm in a push-up position. I step through the Kesa, and now I'm in the sitting stocks. Go around to the other side, Larry, there. Come around here. Now I just simply start putting pressure back against his head. Don't listen, but I would be going on an angle like this without letting his head out. And then you have the stocks position and you catch that neck crank. Okay? So one more time. Okay. We were attacking for the arm and guillotine. I'm choking. He starts hand fighting. I can tell he's going to get free. I get myself ready as he pulls hard. Boom, I break that through. I come in and make the grip. I turn, and I'm working that. Most people's neck is going to tap as soon as you do this and their shoulders are there. If they're limber, control, go ahead and sweep. Get everything placed the way you like it. Step through, and as you drive yourself back into Kesa without letting his head pop out, make sure you stay low and get your armpit nice and deep under that head so his head don't pop out. And boom, you're back up into this position. Okay, get in the submission from the stocks. That's tonight's catch wrestling tip. Thanks. Let's go on. Okay, this is my friend. He's pro fighter Larry Huffman. He's been with me for a long time. We're going to show you a leg lock series from Half Guard. It's got the lockdown in it, very similar to Eddie Bravo's. We're going to do an ankle lock that allows you to tap a lot of people without using your hands at all. Catches a lot of people off guard. If you don't get the tap from the ankle lock, it's going to set you up for a very easy kind of whip down type sweep. It's going to allow you to go right from the sweep straight into either top position or into a knee bar. Immediately get your weight above the knee and get a knee bar. And then if he starts to move, you're going to set up to like a reverse case gatami and finish with an even stronger knee bar that's really good in control. And on top of that, if the knee bar starts to fail, boom, you immediately take one step in your mount position. You start ground and pounding out, tranquilize him a little bit, and start attacking the top line if you're missing details on your leg lock game. So let's go over some details on this. So he's come down. I've established his half guard position. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the outside leg is going to come in. I cross my ankles. I squeeze my knees, and I want to get this foot, my right foot, the inside leg, comes underneath his shin, and it's sitting down here. And it's going to make like a boot, and it's going to be ready to catch the top of his foot here in a minute. But first thing I need to do, I don't want to reach my hand down here because he's going to be so heavy that my arm's going to get trapped, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this grip, maybe grab his elbow, grab his wrist, even his armpit perhaps, depends on what he's doing. And I'm going to lift on this underhook, and I'm going to squeeze my knees, and I'm going to physically try to lift his hips up and try to throw his hips up by my shoulders, okay? If he has something so I can grab like his short or his belts or gi, and I'm going to lift that here. Now that hand's going to come underneath here. This hand stays in that underhook position, and this one's here. So I'm going to make that grip. At that time, I'm going to bend try to take my foot. I'm going to bend his foot to the side, creating a triangle right here. Now, I'm going to get my shin of my other foot here. It goes above his calf, if that's at all possible. Try to get it as high as you can, as close to his ankle as you can. Now I'm going to hold his hip so he can't go anywhere. I pull, my right foot pulls back against his toes, and my left shin goes into it. It looks like they're both going that way, but they're not. The left shin's putting a lot of pressure through his ankle, but the right is pulling the toes, trying to pull his toe towards his butt, just like a toe hold, okay? So that's going to get you the ankle lock. Now, if the ankle lock is failing and he's trying to kick out of it, he's going to bring himself out of position. I'm going to whip around. I'm going to use my head here. Come around on this side here, on this other side. I'm going to use my chin, my head, everything, pin his hips down. At that point here, I'm going to take my right leg. I go underneath and make an X underneath his ankle here. So we see this X here? Mm-hmm. Now my hip's in position. I push down, and I got the knee bar. Okay, so it's a very strong top knee bar. If he turns his knee down like that, and I feel like I can't get the knee bar, I'm going to bring this hip out. I'm going to step through. I lift this hip up so that my hip is not on the ground either, and I slide my hips through his knee. All my weight comes down on this leg, stops his ankle from being able to go anywhere. And I don't want to just push here with my legs or pushing my groin. I'm going to get him off the ground. My butt's off the ground, see how we're free moving, and I slide like I'm going into second base and just slide right through his knee joint. If he turns his leg down, when I let that go, boom, it's going to take me straight into the mount position, and I'm ready to go with my top game attacks, whichever one I'm going to try to work here. and able to set up for my ground and pound. So I'm good to go. Okay, one more time. Let's walk through it. I've got the half guard. I fight for the underhook. My outside leg comes in. I cross my ankles by his knee. I squeeze my knees together on the sides. I bump myself to the side. I try to lift him up. I shoot my arm underneath. I control his hip. I lock here. I reach out for his foot. I try to pull his foot sideways. Okay? Boom. Once he gets sideways and he creates that space, I slide that other shin into his ankle. I grab kind of my forearm right in his butt so his hip can't go anywhere. I try to make the break for the ankle lock. I lift it up. I sweep. I pin him down. Once he's pinned, he's trying to move around a little bit. I pin him good. I switch my ankles, make the X, drive my hips down to the knee bar. If he gets his knee turned down, I'm going to sweep, bring myself underneath, lift this up, slide into it, make the pass, come to the mountaintop position, and get ready for ground and pound and get your points or your top game submissions. Okay, so that's a good little leg combo from the half guard. I think that'll really improve a lot of people's game, really jump you up. You'll be surprised how many people, once you master that leg lock, and you got to drill it. Drills give skills. You have to drill that ankle lock over and over. Get the thing. Make sure the shin, number one thing people do wrong, they get the shin is too low. The shin's on his calf or above the top of his calf too much close to his knee. Gives you good control, but doesn't give you enough pressure for the ankle lock break. So keep playing with it till that foot comes in a V. Wait till you feel it loose, not where they got stiff. If he's trying to make a transition, he's trying to get his knee up something. Pull it around. Boom. Drive your shin in, close to the ankle as possible. Get that pressure. Squeezing to you. You can't push his leg and let his hips come off of you. When your feet are pushing his leg, you got to grab like your forearm right in the crack of his butt or grab his hip joint and pull it to you. Lock your elbows in so that 100% of the pressure of both of your legs goes into his ankle. If that starts to fail or he starts to kick out straight, boom, you're going to whip it up and down and around. Comes around like a whip over sweep. Focus on the pin. As soon as you get there, don't worry about the knee bar yet. Pinning, control the hips. Wrestling down, get everything still. Then uncross your ankles, make an X on his ankle so that he's not easy for him to turn his knee. Get your hip bone right above the knee. Drive straight through the leg with all your pressure. If he turns his knee at that point, boom, get that arm underneath, come around, set back to reverse kesa. Don't put any drag where he's sitting on the ground. You don't want to have any resistance of your own ass on the ground. And when you push, you're pushing to the mat. Get him up, but the weight is going to go from his shoulders to my feet. His ass is off the ground, my ass is off the ground. Boom, push straight through that knee. If he starts wiggling again, touch his knee down, come back like you're doing a cross arm choke, straight into mount, take top position, be done. Okay? All right, thanks, guys. In Hayastan, one of the things that they're known for, like a lot of people just think about the leg locks and what they're doing. If you go out to their gym in California and you get to roll with Caro or Manny or Gokor, Karn and Roman, any of those guys, you're going to find out judo is very strong and they're slamming each other down. But one other thing that they have that people don't talk about is the Kimuras. If you go out there, you're going to get Kimura'd one after the other after the other. Their Kimuras are a little bit different than the way other people do them. They have a lot of entries, a lot of things, and they attack it. You guys see Ronda Rousey going after an armbar from 8,000 different ways, and that's the way the attack on the Kimuras are up there. So I'm going to give you just a couple cool tips on the Kimuras that makes it a little bit different. I don't have a lot of time tonight, and so we're just going to make a couple real quick things but to help you guys out. For one, when they go to do the Kimura, don't try to make the L out here like a lot of people do or any of this and give that opportunity for this to go flat. If he does go straight, you don't really want to do all this and support that joint. You can just roll it against here and that's going to be fine. What you're going to focus on doing is lifting this elbow up and trying to get the elbow up and get his wrist into his armpit so that it's much tighter. Make a much tighter V formation of it. Like you don't have to really worry about all this. You can just get it nice and tight. If you can get this leg over the head, if you need to, that's going to make it even better. Okay, so getting in a tight V. If you're able to turn his wrist away, there's nothing for him to grab. See, it locks it into place, and that's going to be nice and strong. But a lot of things that come up is they grab the shorts. One thing you can do is I would get real deep here, is just get your hands here, use this as your lever, and then you can just use that to strip that up. Now you've got that elevation on the elbow. Now I'm in position to when that comes down, it's nice and tight. If he grips really strong, he's got a good hold, maybe he's got a gi, he's got a belt, something like that. A really good one is there's two bones in your wrist right here. So instead of attacking the wrist or the joint or the grip, we're going to use our body weight and try to break this piece of his arm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stick that tip of that elbow right between those two joints. And then I use my body weight to compress that in the ground and go ahead and break that. Now, I can take my hip and I can just walk him instead of trying to pull this back. If I can't get his wrist to his armpit, I use my hip and bring his armpit to his wrist. Okay, so he has that grip. Don't grab first. Put that tip of your elbow right, not up here on the meat and not on the bone where it's supported, but right between the two bones there. Lock that up and then drop your weight on there and break that grip. And usually you'll just go ahead and pop those bones in the wrist there. If you need to get the Kimura, you just take your hip, clock that around, and you'll get that. You can always, from there, let that hand slide back. Talk about a leg lock series here, what we're going to do. We're going to start off a real basic thing. I'm just going to be in the guy's guard. I'm going to pass the guard, and I'm going to attack his legs. I'm not going to pass the guard. I'm going to open the guard. And then I'm going to attack his legs. Again, I cannot say this enough. The leg that I'm breaking is irrelevant. It's the other leg that makes all the escapes. You have to control the other leg. And that's what makes his escapes impossible or very, very extremely difficult. If you concentrate on the leg that you want to break, you're very unsuccessful with your techniques. It's the other leg, okay? So he's got his guard, and I'm going to turn my hips in. Okay. Now, when I go ahead and bring my leg into the middle, once I get my leg in the middle, then I'm good. Okay. Now I can fall back. I can do inside. I like to kind of attack the hip lock once I get to here. We're not gonna bother with any of that stuff right now. I'm just gonna have you guys stand up for a second, and I'm gonna push that knee down. Okay, so that you don't block it. I don't want to be holding this leg and then him swim this leg in and do something like that's fine. Bring it in, and then he attacks his own leg lock. You don't know how to do a leg lock? Swim here and get this leg lock. No. Yeah. Anyway, if he knew how to do a leg lock after 7 years of training, he would know that his should go like this, and he would get the heel lift. So pay attention. So here, so when I go down, I'm going to push that knee in. When I come in to turn and get in this position here, everybody wants to come in and attack for the heel lift. Don't worry about the heel lift right now. We're going to worry about this leg. It's this leg being controlled is what's going to do it. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to bring this leg over and cross. I'm going to sit up. I'm going to pull this nice and tight. So I'm in this position here. Now, I can kind of push my shin into this knee, so that's kind of unpleasant. But when he tries to move around, see, very tight. I have good control of his legs. Okay, so I can just try to scoot in and get close and try to control this knee. All right. So from here, I just have a good position, good strong, and hold this, crank on this, whatever. Now, what do you think that you'd like to do from here?
I have no idea. He's trying to square me.
Yes, he wants to grab something. So when he does, I'm going to grab his arms, his head. I'm going to pull him to me, and it's going to start popping his neck, his spine, and breaking this hip. Okay, so I'm just going to hold here. Be patient. We're not hitting, punch him, grab, whatever. But he's going to end up, as I'm putting this pressure on here, or I'm putting this pressure on here, he's going to put this hand up here, trying to pull my hands off. He's going to try to grab my neck. He's going to try to push away. He's going to try to grab my foot. He'll do something. You're not going to lay there and take it. If he does, I'm just going to go ahead and I can take the heel lift. Or, like as I prefer to do with this, I'll bring my forearm in like this. But nevertheless, I'm going to get this knot here for a second. He comes in and grabs at me, touches me, whatever. I'm going to pull him in, control his head, pull him to me, and push away. And everything hurts all the way through here. Okay, so you got in your position. This one threads through. Lift it up, control it. Now, see the hip's already tight. This one comes through, locks, and then adjust it. Scoot in, get nice butt to butt. Good hip control, grabbing, pulling, and the more he comes to you, the worse it is for him. Okay? Easy enough? All right, so let's practice this. First of all, you're going to practice just the leg knot. Now, before we shut off the camera, though, here's how we're going to end up getting, but I don't want to have to take, that's what we're going to practice first. We're going to stand up. Now, let's say we were going here, and I wanted to move in, shoot, and I was going to hit a double leg right here, okay? See how my hand would come here, and I would block here, and then boom, I would try to get the double leg. what we're going to move into, which I think is a really good, if you have a good leg lock game, a good sambo game, I think you guys are really going to enjoy this move. I want you to hit it just like you do your double leg. When you come off your double leg, like a lot of the American people will come in with their knee, turn, go here, that's fine, that's beautiful. A lot of the European people just stay with their knee, kind of use more of the momentum in the run. That's fine, doesn't matter. However you do your double leg is okay, as long as you have a good double leg, as long as it's one of those accepted kind of wrestling movements. So I'm going to turn the corner just as if I was going to do the double leg. He starts to think the double leg. He starts thinking the ground. He starts thinking, I got to get the guard, or I got to scramble, I got to get up, I got to get the underhook. These are the things that are generally running through his head. The only difference is how my hand was on his hip, drops down and knee blocks, just leaving on his hip. So we're here, boom, we pop, we shoot, I get him turn the corner. Now instead of that, as soon as I make that shuffle forward, I shuffle back. I'm going to bring that leg over, thread that through, lock myself in position, and now same thing. I sit here, boom, pull him up and attack him. If he doesn't do anything, he doesn't come up, go ahead and attack here. Or if you like it, you can come in and take this straight. Just make that turn. This is good, but it gives him this knee can kind of turn down. That's why I like to use this hand. This hand has nothing to do. The pressure's still on the heel. His toes are in my armpit. I'm just putting my hand in his shin so that if he tries to roll that way, it's blocked. And then I'm arcing back. So the break is still very much on the ankle only. I'm not getting up here high and letting him get a boot and all this kind of deal. I'm kind of doing like the figure four version. You know, these hands could be completely independent. It could be just like this and it'd be fine. This hand's job is to keep him from turning his knee down and go to running man, which I've got pretty good control here anyway. But a lot of times I'll do that and I'll lock that in. His instep is coming more in line with my pec. There's no toes coming around behind Larry show. There's no toes sticking out. There is no boot. The boot is non-existent on this. See? So now when I arch my back, I'm getting a good straight break by bringing the toes, by bringing my deltoid back. I bring his toes backwards, and that's what's causing a break. I don't have to worry so much about the fulcrum. There's a lot of first people's version of where they're kind of lifted more like that, so that's all good. Okay, so one more time, real quick. Boom, I shoot him. Boom. As he comes down, trap instead of falling with a double leg. Get this. If he goes to attack my feet or anything, boom, kick that up, get that in position, attack, get into a good knotted position. He comes in here, boom, controlling, break this out. And like I said, if he doesn't, come back, get the heel lift, or sit up, bring my hips in, and come in and attack here. He's going to know he needs to get this free leg free. So when he does, boom, pass him here, and come in and attack on this side here. That'll knock that off. Okay, so he knows he needs to open up my foot. He needs to get his leg free. Go ahead. When he does, I'm going to follow with it and just let that rip right here. Okay, so be sure, just like you would be hand fighting with your hands, you're going to hand fight with your legs. And you be aware, when he starts to scramble, the key is not the leg you're holding. It's not the grip you're holding. It's not the leg you're trying to break. The scramble is for the other leg, the free leg. You've got to regain it, get it back, leg fight for it, just like you would hand fight in wrestling or BJJ. Get it back in, and break it. Okay? All right. Good job. This is my friend, one of the coaches, Larry Huffman. He's a pro fighter. Real nice guy. Been with me for over a decade. And super nice guy. Like I said, works all the coaches with the kids and the fighters. And good guy to have around. Now, we're going to be helping tonight specifically. Jason Wood sent me a couple little short video clips about judo head arm case gatami, escapes, and a couple finishes off there. We're going to kind of speed through there. Again, when we're putting these videos out, guys, it's just trying to kind of give a little teaser, a few helpful details. We're not spending like an immense amount of time trying to make these 100% correct. If you want to do 100% correct, come get in the gym. Join our team if you're local. Get an affiliate school. Have me come in and do a seminar. Whatever you need to do. But we are trying to hit a few good tips. We're not really, it's not for sale. You're not paying for it. It's free. So, like I said, we're kind of speeding through it, spur of the moment, and we really don't even know what we're going to shoot exactly until it's over with, basically. But anyway, but here's the question. You have the judo head arm. some things about this. You would prefer to get the underhook. This is the better version. But sometimes off the throws, you just end up here. So a couple things that you can do. For one, I don't want this elbow lower than the deltoid. Anytime it's lower and his deltoid's rounded, that's going to allow him to get a good grip on my back, kind of scoot his hip underneath me, and throws me back into these back positions and maybe stack me up and break my ribs or get the top, take back, or put me in the truck position, something like that. So we don't really want to do that. So we do want to keep this up nice and high. The second thing you can do, if you want to really cause this guy a problem, you want to turn your hand upside down, and where that tip of that elbow is, you want to put those two bones there, and you want to bring his ear to his deltoid with your hands. To get that tight, a lot of times I'll come all the way over to this position, and now it's locked in tight. So when I set through, it's in a shoulder lock, and it works like a double wrist lock Kimura, that chicken wing that direction, and breaks the shoulder. So if he's got me here, and I feel like he's going to rotate me, I put my hand under, I'm going to drive over and lock that into place. Now that ear's on that deltoid, when I set through, that rips that through, okay? Fortunately, 99% of the planet that does this doesn't understand that, and so they're doing something like this, and they're just holding. So some things, if you're in this position and you want to hold it, I want to stay lower, my head down so he doesn't like bring his arm in front of me or any of that kind of stuff like that. If he does, he brings his arm in front. You actually want to pull it across and try to get your head up here by his elbow. It's much harder for him to push, and you can control it. And then there's some submissions and stuff we can do from here. I'm going to show you. Now, my best goal is to get him, one, to let go of my body and to put his arm somewhere up here so I can do an arm bar or a shoulder lock or a wrist lock or a neck crank, anything like that. So to get him to do that, I'm going to push his head across. This hand comes through. I grab my shoulder, and then I'm going to press down so that he's in a choke. That choke will choke him completely out. Generally, he doesn't want to get choked completely out, and I can hold him with my chin in his eye, or like this, or in the jaw, or just you can just roll his ear up upside down so it's biting that. Whatever you got to do to get that exposed. So what will happen is, as I go to choke him, he'll bring that arm around. Now when he does, see, I use my elbow to trap it, place it behind my leg. Now what I usually do so he doesn't work is I bring my elbow all the way to the armpit on the other side, drop it right through that hole, and then as I elevate his head, or I can seat travel back, that's going to catch that shoulder lock. Some other things you can do, though, is as he brings that hand in front and I make that catch, I can just bring this hand here, and then as I press, it works like a lever, and that can break it there. Or you can drive down on the wrist and start working the wrist cranks. See how I'm just putting that wrist on my knee, and as I lift my knee up, that's going to pop that there. Even if it's turned this way, it doesn't matter. You'll get the flexor tendons. See? Like that right there, you can push him all the way to there. So that's going to cause him, when I start putting that pressure, it's going to cause him to want to open up to make an escape. When he opens up, I'll catch here. When I go to pull on here and he goes to open up straighter, he's going to give me this. If he tries to roll his hand down here like that, so I can press and come forward. Every time it goes to a different position, I just change the angle like that. Boom. So I'm going to constantly be attacking that arm. Like I said, if it's in that position there, you can work that. You can come around. Now look here. A lot of times when you're doing Brazilian type jiu-jitsu, whatever you want to do, they'll pass that arm across. And you're coming down and you're working your arm triangle. If you're in this version and you're already in Kesa, a lot of times what they'll do is if I'm holding here, is they'll just bring them up on the side and then just press it here. So I'm just, see the neck is like this, and it's an arm triangle still, but I put it on my thigh and I just press down. And I don't have to lay down. I don't have to get down. It's just my thigh becomes like an anvil. And you just press your chest and your deltoid. My deltoid is pressing into here. So I was in Kesa. He's got answering the phone. So I just come up. I let my forearm get to there, make that grip, and then just press. And as I press, I get a good submission here. So these are just a few, very, very few things that I can do from this head-arm position. So he's talking about how can I escape. Now, one of the main things people do, let me do it to you one more time, is they try to take your back. Now, back in the day, this move is from like Indonesian silat, and Eric Paulson was doing it, and then he showed a guy that he was doing a private lesson with, and then like he showed that guy that day, and that day goes, hey, let me show you this move, and he showed the guy he did the private lesson with, showed Boss Rutan, by certain fault and pride and won with it, and it become a move in MMA. But it was from an Indonesian art. But anyways, most of the time they try to get close to you to take your back. So when they do, you're just going to roll in and you hook that. You get your legs together, and then when I press, it becomes a choke, and I can choke him out from here, and that helps with the back. Don't forget we did in the beginning. If this hand is here and that's locked in, if he tries to take my back from here, he breaks his own shoulder. So this is a good counter also. So a lot of the reason that people take people's back is because they suck at Kisakatami and don't understand this position, and that's the majority of the reason. But nevertheless, taking his back's a good option because most people don't do the position right, so you should take your back. So I'm going to give you just a couple escapes from here because that's what Jason asked for. One is the oldest in the world. We talked about this before. Come around on this side over here. We'll let you just stand up here. Looking at it standing, if he's got my arm real tight and I try to pull my arm out, my arm doesn't come because my elbow, it's not how strong he is, it's my thumb is up and my elbow, as I pull and I flex my biceps, I drive my elbow into his forearm. So what I want to do is take my deltoid, I want to jam my deltoid into him and flip my arm down so that this comes up and it comes out very easy. So I'm here, boom, then it slips and you can't grip it. Because it goes, it's the elbow that's the problem, so you want to get your elbow away. So it's going to be the same thing on the ground here. He's basically doing that same position. So I don't try to get this arm out. I'm just going to let my thumb roll with it. So what I want to do is I'm going to drive into him so that he pushes down on me. And then I'm going to turn the complete opposite way. And I turn the back of my head so the back of my head comes out of the hip. And I'm going to turn here and I'm going to let it roll. As it does, that hand is going to catch that arm that's underneath my head. I want to break him down in that position. And then from here, I can work to the hammer lock on this side over here. So, let's turn this way. So he's got it. I kind of push into him. He pushes back. I'm going to turn. I'll catch that one. I try to break him down. Lock him in. And then attack to the hammer lock. If I'm in this position here, and his hip is up, you can always come in and attack his back even further if that's what you need to do. All right? So that's one. Very easy, just a quick spin, especially if you do it right, like he throws you with a head arm throw. As soon as you hit the ground, you roll to your knees and drive out it that way. Now, a real common one that people do is when I'm here, I'm going to take my hand and I turn it palm up and I put my forearm bone real tight upside down underneath his floating ribs. Now I'm going to drive him forward so I can get my hips underneath him. At that point, I'm going to flip him over with a bridge up to his neck. Then I put my leg behind him and come over here so I catch my knee. Can you see that?
Yes.
Now I drive my knee and that forearm bone is sticking in that floating rib. So when I compress it, it breaks his ribs and gets a compression choke there. Okay, so one more time. So he's going to be here. I turn my palm upside down. I make a bridge, get underneath him, bring him up, I catch him here, and then I fold him over my forearm, and I'm getting that choke. And try to fold his body over my forearm as his legs come up and get that break. So that's a good solid one there. Another one is that I'm going to be in this position here. I'm going to bring him backwards as I get it here, back, and then I get my leg over. Once I get my legs locked into position, and I've got that controlled, I take my hand, I stick my hand between me and him. Don't do anything, just stick it here. Now I'm going to pop with my hips. I pop him up. He comes over. That hand that was in between us pops right out that hole, catch his head, and you pull him, and you've got a twister. All right, so let's do that one a little bit better. Okay, so he's here. Okay, I'm going to drive him down, back. I'm going to lock that in. Now that I've got his hip in good control, hand comes between, bridge him over, catch, don't let that arm come out from underneath your head. Keep this nice and tight, and pull. Okay, so you have the twister position. Another one, the main thing I think of when he first grabs me is not with this arm, but I'd like to get this elbow to the floor between me and him and get it down there where it's protected so I don't get all these arm locks, shoulder locks. So I'm going to walk my hips this way to create space because when he's here and he's holding it, there's not enough space for my elbow to go down. So I'm going to hold this in an S grip, like a skeletal type grip. I'm going to take my feet away, the back, and then that's going to slip that elbow to the ground. Now you can grab that wrist so it can't punch you. You can't do that. Okay, now from there, I can scoot underneath, bring him over. Now I can attack his back, come in, and work my choke. The last one of these basic escapes I want to see, a lot of times, hang on, you see where they bring their leg up over their head, and then they drag the guy back. Well, if the guy keeps his head low, that's difficult. You have to time it. If you don't have good flexibility, that's time. Or if you have good flexibility, the guy got leg locks, you get your foot in front of there, and he drives it down and he starts breaking it while your foot's in your face. So you want the power of the leg, but you want to hip out, get on your side. When you come up, you're going to reach underneath your leg and hook his chin. So when he goes back, not only that, but you can open his chin up so you can come into and finish with a scissors choke. Okay, so he's going to be here. I'm going to hip out, get on my side, not just push here, and I bring my leg up, and then I hook. Now I'm going to slide my legs together, hold that arm, and then I get to choke here. So that way, if he grabs my foot, like I'm here, and he grabs my foot, I can let my hand go and get that leverage. He can't get it up in front of his face and get his neck and his back into it. So we're here, I come out, I catch, bring that down, and then work that choke. I can be turning it and working to the Kimura as well. Okay, so those are some basic finishes from Case Katami and some basic escapes with Case Katami. So appreciate it. Good job. Okay, it's my good friend Willie McLaughlin once again from Verada MMA, Black Belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu head coach down there, Cabot and Searcy, Arkansas. No Cabot anymore, just Searcy. All right, Rock Searcy. Anyway, so you'll see a lot of his fighters on V3 and different shows. His sons are beasts. But anyway, here's the deal. He's going to be doing an ankle lock to me. He's got me in a straight ankle lock, and he's laying down on it, getting his body weight on there. He's got good pressure. My toes are in his armpit. He's cranking it down. He's got the pressure and the strength to break my leg, and he's making it difficult for me to get my hands and defend it and get over there on top. He's got me kind of hip locked in there, and then I'm going to show how to defend that once he gets that. So we're going to go through both things, all right? So first, Willie's going to explain what he's doing.
All right. I'm going to put the legs on there too, just so I can use for leverage. But I'm going to go deep on this, toes in the armpit. Then I'm going to take and hide it to where it makes it harder for him to escape.
So as I try to go to hand fight or something, this is blocking me. It's making it very difficult to deal with, and I have limited pressure. Now, if he just continues to lay on my foot, then obviously other than it's kind of squishing and breaking my foot, but other than that, it's not that bad of a deal. It's when his back goes backwards, so he's going to, if his shoulders go back, that causes it, or if his hips go forward, like this. So either one of those things is a bad thing to do. So what I need to do is I need to come through, make a grip, strip this one leg off my chest. Now come around here. So this is your biggest key that's going to buy you that seconds that you need. You need to take this foot and put that ball of that foot to the ball of that foot, get your weight on it, and do your knee. So that now, as he tries to go backwards, my foot works like a door wedge, and the other foot can't go backwards because it runs into my other foot. So he tries to go backwards, no problem. And I use this knee to try to control his hips. As soon as that happens, at the same time, basically, this hand needs to be shooting through, trying to underhook his hip joint. If he's got a gi, grab his belt. If he's got shorts, grab his shorts. If it's not legal to grab his shorts, grab them fast and let them go. But anyway, grab his hips, post your hand on the floor, and the second my hand goes to the floor, you don't have a lot of time. This leg needs to kick, and I need to get him up here. Now, this is like a moment in time, and this does not last long, because as soon as I get him here, he's going to try to go to the belly down. That's going to hurt just as bad or worse, okay? So he's here. As soon as I come up and I create that space before he does the belly down, during the process of doing the belly down, I've got to switch my hips and drive my hips underneath him, and that makes the belly down where it doesn't work. So again, my foot's blocking this foot. This shin's blocking his back. My hand goes down, this one grabs here, this goes up, and right here I shift. My hip jumps over his bottom leg. Now he can go belly down all he wants, doesn't bother me, okay? So now I want to hold his hip and boot my foot through, but then cross my ankles. You see that, Seth?
Yes, sir.
As soon as my ankles are crossed, I'm going to curl them in, posting. I want to come through, and now, like Willie, he wants to come in here and put them in a twister. But anyways, once you're here, I like to try to maybe just underhook their head and their neck and roll him over, and then he's going to be in an arm-in triangle. So, twister if you want to do with Willie's for finish, or I like the arm-in triangle for the finish. All right. So, anyways, that's a good escape for the hidden straight ankle lock on the side when they're making it difficult for you to hand fight and get that through there and they're that deep. Okay, so key points: get the balls of your feet together, lock his back. First, remove his foot off your chest if that's possible. Underhook the hip, the belt, the gi, the shorts. Post, get some space. Jump underneath. Boot. Cross your ankles. Get your weight on your knees. Repost. Come back flat. Kick that through. Protect your feet. One of the throws into a submission on a Russian tie is going to end up in kind of a double wrist lock, but with a reverse grip, like an inverted grip. So he's going to start off, we'll start on this angle here. He starts off, he's got the collar tie on me. So my hand's going to come up and block. This hand's kind of free swinging. I drive my deltoid right through this V. I don't want to get it long like this. I want to actually try to get this in. The more V, the better it is. I'm going to look behind me and strip. This hand comes up through the middle. I've got this downward pressure working. As he tries to lift up, I push that hand in. I'm going to make this key lock on my hand. I'm going to force this hand into his belly or right into his hip. When I put my knuckles in there, I'm going to pivot. I come underneath him here. That's going to roll him across. I'm going to wrestle my weight to that outside shoulder. Bring this around behind. Larry, come around behind here. Don't bother switching your grip or anything. Just wrestle here. You can take your knee, compress that in, and get that lock right here. Okay? Now, we were talking about this. If he tries to roll towards me, I'm just going to kind of turn and block him. If he tries to roll away from me, he'll just put himself into a hammer lock, and it'll be much worse. So that's not an issue for me, because he'll just end up there. So either way. All right, one more time real quick. Okay. Collar tie, strip. This is called the Russian tie. Bring him across. Let him fall. Okay. One foot submission here. Get yourself up. Don't let your weight get on top of him. You're not going to be able to push it in the mat. Get him up on the side. Keep your head up here on that far side shoulder. Like I said, if his arm is straight, don't worry about it. Use your leg and compress it. Okay, so that's a Russian tie into a throw and into a submission. We're working a Russian tie series again. Now, we showed you before in the series, so if you're not seeing it, look it up. It should be coming out about the same time, the same night as this one is. Where when I threw him down on the ground off this throw and his hand was able to be pulled free, and then I was able to get it back into a double wrist lock Kimura type movement, but more of an inverted grip. However, in this time we're going to do it, he makes a grip, and as we come over, his hands are gripped together tight, and I'm not able to separate them, so still not a problem. So he's here. I break that free. I've got this grip here. I'm pushing this into his hip joint. My foot pivots. I come underneath, make the roll. I come up, I'm trying to work this free. He can't. So I'm going to come around. I'm going to check his head with my legs so he can't get it down. That's going to give me time to reach. Now, I don't immediately start squeezing here because I'll end up with a face lock. I'm going to turn my hip. I'm going to start pushing into him so that he wants to push down. When he does, it's going to allow, as he feels like he's in a can opener type thing, as he pushes his head back not to get can opener, and I sprawl out, that's going to put him in the north-south choke real good. Don't hold his wrist until you get in that position. I like to snake my hand through, so if he rolls towards me, then I've got a block. If he rolls away from me, I've got the grip. And now I'm going to work myself into the choke. If he really forces himself to go that way, I'm going to turn, bring my knee up, rotate myself down, get this hook. Once I get this hook, come around the back here, Shannon. Once he gets this hook, I bring this knee up, bring myself into position here, and come around to the front. Now I'm in a good balanced position. I can either finish him with a spine lock or neck crank, but assuming that's not legal, he can't see this coming. So I'll let this hand come right here. That pops free. That locks in the rear naked choke. I rotate back around, lock it in place, and finish. Okay, so one more time. He grabs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pressure, boom, 6. Hold that position. Get back, work my north-south choke. Rolls towards me, block, rolls away, pivot, get my hook control, step up, pressure on the neck, force that through, bring that back down, lock that in, and choke. All right, thanks.
Most everybody in jiu-jitsu knows how to do a regular scissor sweep to the side. So what we're going to show you guys is a reverse scissor sweep, which is more common in Hayastan when you're trying to get into the leg lock. So let's real quickly, if I'm doing just a regular scissor sweep, when he's here, for example, one version of it is I would want to sit up, reach over top, grab his arms, grab his legs, grab his belts, get an underhook, anything like that. But at some point, I need to get his weight on top of me. Okay, so we're in this. So we're here. I'm going to sit up. As I pull him up, and he kind of gets this like weightlessness, then I kick him over, sweeping, and I'm coming over the top. So you can kind of follow those principles, but instead of trying to reach over the top or anything, we're going to go underneath the hole and hook it with our elbow here. All right. So everything else is the same. We're still going to turn as if we were going to sweep this way. We're still going to try to get him pivoted on this leg so that his weight is sitting on this thigh bone. When I'm doing a regular scissor sweep, it's this leg is going this way and this leg is going this way. This leg basically is going to do nothing. Instead, it's going to be this arm going this way and this leg going this way. So the scissors is not the legs, but this leg and this arm. So as he's here, I set up. When I bring him up, now here he's going to sweep. I'm going to bring him into there, and now I can attack either for the knee bar or I can bring myself over and come in and just start attacking for the leg locks, okay? All right, so that's kind of the slow motion version of it. I want to pick it up just a little bit. You'll see how you get a nice, good sweep. So he's going to be here. I like to get a little wrist control so that when it goes here, that sweep's really easy. That's going to lock him into position. And then I can start attacking my leg locks from here. All right, so I'll try to do it slow motion again for you. All right, so start off just like a butterfly sweep. Bring my hip out. I come in. I bring him up. I sweep his body around. I lock it in. A lot of times he'll land in a little bit different positions where, and then from here, I can go attack for the knee bar or bring him into different leg locks. All right, one time full speed. Okay, so he's going to be here. Set up. And that's going to be full speed. I take it all the way to the knee bar on the far side. Hard to catch the camera angle. I tell you what, David, walk that way one time so they can see the kind of the finished detail when I do it all the way. About right about there. Okay. All right. Thanks. It's going to be the reverse scissor sweep to attack the legs. Thanks. Different counter that's going to take you more into the sweeps. This is a very easy sweep to get when he goes for that. So he's got my ankle. He catches. He goes to turn. He's coming over. At this point, we've got alternating legs. He goes my foot, his foot, my foot, his foot. So that's good for him, and that's what he's wanting for the break. It's not what I want. Okay? So let's go back here. So thinking about that and knowing that, I'm going to be thinking about his ankle. As we're going, I'm going to try to grip it as it's coming over. So as he goes to turn, I'm trying to get his. Now I take my foot, I come in just like I'm going for the X guard. Now it goes his foot, my foot, his foot. So now I can push that out, make that pass, and come back here on top. You can attack and get that position that you want to work here. Okay, so one more time. As he goes to turn, my foot comes underneath. Pass. Keep your weight on it. You can back step around. If you like the triangles here, you can even roll, bring yourself around, attack for a triangle or a ball lock from there. Okay? All right, so let's watch here one more. So, 1, he goes, 2, 3, 4, step, bring that through, from here, tap for control. Okay? All right, so that's sweep number 1.
You're good now.
Okay, sweep number 2. One of the problems is he has so much weight pushing me down from his belly or posturing up that I want to get the weight off of me. So this sweep here is going to attack that weight. So as he comes around and he gets it, I'm going to come underneath that leg here. So I've got control here. I cross my ankles and I'm going to break him down, bring my leg back to the middle, and make the pass here. Okay? So one more time. He's going to be here. As he comes down, I already hooked the leg, so he's not getting that full rotation of his hips. I come across, break that down, open up the legs, scoot up to top position, and you have your pass from there. Okay, good. We're going to work on a couple quick things tonight. We're doing some different things that are going to help you survive a back attack, rear naked choke from the back, and we're going to cover some things. This is my buddy Josh. He has really long legs, about a 6'4" kind of guy. So we're going to show you some things if they have long legs, and then me and my buddy Travis Adams, we're going to show you some other things after that. But instead of going through a whole series of different things or a specific deal, we're just going to hit a few points that are in some of the most common things that people do already. So you should already know, and then just these are some of the most common details in those different things that people miss. And I want to hit about just 10 or 12 real common details in defenses that people are already doing. Okay, so we're gonna, instead of being belly down, we're gonna be up like this just so you guys can see better. And sometimes this occurs. A couple things it's gonna be doing, whether I want to attack his legs or thing. The first thing you gotta do is not get choked out. Trying to lean back way high like this and putting my shoulders up here level with his shoulders. This is the easiest way for him to get the choke, and it's the hardest way for me to get the legs. Okay, so from the beginning. When he takes your back, you're going to be wanting to try to slide your shoulders down and get your shoulders level with his hip joint so that now when he's choking, it's much easier to defend, okay? So let's say he took my back, like he's got my actual back. And now he's trying to fly me out. If I decide to make that turn to go to there, when I turn here, so I need to turn and already be thinking in my mind that I'm going to sit down and get my shoulders to here versus just going to my belly, okay? Now the first thing, most people already know, don't cross your ankles. If they do cross their ankles, like this, you just stack them opposite. Boom, boom, boom. So if he's got his right one on top, I'm going to put my left one on top and lock it in, and then I make a bridge, and that breaks his ankles. But most people know not to break their ankles. If they know not to break their ankles, put your hand under one and over one, and then cross it for them. Because they're not thinking about that. But when I lift it up, see, when my legs squeeze, that's what makes it go together. I don't try to go like an arm wrestle with the guy. Just put, like they're touching. Push one down, pull one up, and squeeze your legs. That's enough. They've crossed. That's all you got to do is get them on top of each other. They don't have to be like real pretty big. You just need one on top, one on the bottom, and that'll be fine. See? So that's what I do. I get the guy here. Now look here. If I feel like I can't even use my arms, like maybe he's got me up here and I'm trying to defend, like I've got 2 for 1 here. So I'm trying to defend this. Just drop one leg lower and one leg higher, and start to squeeze like that. So you're trying to get them to go across, okay? Sometimes you can just do that with just one. So I drop that leg down and come up. So I can do that with just one hand instead, see? So try to drop, and control. So anyway, so basically he's here. Now, a lot of times I see this, and this does work most of the time, in that when you're driving your elbow into the shin to kind of get this lock, that people do this right here. And the guy, sometimes they tap, but most of the time they just let go, kick off, and go away. But it's okay because you got out of thing. This is like very kindergarten. This is not how you're supposed to be doing this. When you do that, the goal is not to bicep this guy's leg and curl it. That's not your thing. The idea is to be driving your elbow bone through it like this, and this just holds it in place. The energy is behind this bone, and it's that elbow pushing through it with your body weight. So when you go, you don't want to be on your back. You want to stick your elbow in it, and you want to get hims on the floor, and then you want to be bringing your thigh through the ankle, not bicep curling it. It's your thigh coming up. That's what's breaking, okay? Now, if I get in that situation, try to get your knee right here on the heel so that you can break it like that with a toe hold, okay? So the guy has it. He's attacking. Your goal is to fall down. Be working here and then working here, okay? So that's the best way to do that leg break, okay? Sometimes this guy is so long-legged, he's going to get you in a body triangle, okay? You really don't want to fall so that the body triangle is up. This is going to be harder for me to deal with. I'm actually going to try to fall with it down, like here, okay? Once it gets here, go ahead and keep that lock, okay? A lot of times what I'll do is help him by pulling that up for him. And then I'm going to go ahead and lock this in place. Once I lock it in place, I hold his, push my elbow here. Now I bridge my hip joint through this tip of the elbow, pulling his toe this way, and then it breaks this ankle here. Okay, so he's working to get the body triangle. I'm going to actually pull it and cinch it for him, lock it in place. This is here. And then when I bridge, I turn my body like this. I don't want pressure on this side. I want to turn like I'm trying to take this hip to the ceiling. And so this one, see, like I'm twisting. And at the same time, I don't want this up here on my ribs. I want to push that down, okay? Sometimes you get caught, he's got the body triangle, okay? Like this. When you go, you can grab your own short, stick your elbow in there, and then when you drive that down, a lot of times you'll get that to where you can even make him release. See, as I set down into it, as I slide my hip, once I feel like I got a good grip, that sliding of that elbow, not the downward pressure, not the bicep curl, but lock that in and then hip scoot. So he'll have it here. I'll get this, yeah, good. See, I feel it bite right there. Once I feel it bite, see, I just scoot through. Now you can lock that into place, and now I can go ahead and attack from here. Okay, so it'll look like this. He's got the body triangle. Pull my short up, dig that bone in there, hand it to it. Weights here so the knee can't go anywhere, and then scoot down. Boom. Go ahead and trap, and then attack here. Okay. Now, good. So, thanks for that on those few tips on legs. So many more things you can do on the legs, guys, but those are just some common things I see that people don't think about or don't go, and they're like, oh, well, he didn't cross his legs, we'll cross them for him. Or they're trying to bicep curl and not getting their weight there, and they're not understanding. And I could show a million more leg lock attacks on that, but that's kind of the basic stuff. So now let me show Travis here. We talked about this the other night a little bit. Come around, he's got my back. Actually, you lady, let me get you up here first. I'm going to attack his back for a second. Just sit down so the camera can see you. Just sit on your butt and relax. Okay. Everybody knows. I'm going for the choke, and he wants to get 2 for 1. Okay? This is very common. Everybody does this, but they're not really doing it exactly right. And I'm going to show you, first of all, I'm going to slip in a little extra for you to show you why that just 2 for 1 is not good enough. We had a guy fighting at a Hayastan tournament in North Carolina that came from California from my coach Cocor's gym, and I happened to be helping him on the mat at that time. And they've got, you do, like 3 minutes, and then there's no points, and then you come back and you can talk to your corner for a minute, and then you go back out there, and the second round's points, and if nobody wins, and then you go to an overtime, and there's still, and whoever gets the takedown wins. So he has this guy's back for like a minute and a half of the last of the first round, but there's no points in the first round, so you have to get a submission. But the guy's going for 2 for 1, and he's defending very well. And so I gave him this little tip. When the guy does this, if you get his back and you get here and he goes 2 for 1, make this adjustment and you'll be able to submit the guy. Do the same thing. The guy did the same defense, and our guy choked him out in like, 10 seconds after he got it. So here's what he did. So I had my elbow like this. I was going for it. He goes for 2 for 1. He's got your arm down here. When he does, just roll your wrist down, go to here, and bounce this over in this position. Now when I curl up, now he's in a choke here. Okay, see? So if I'm here and I'm trying to get like my elbow, hang on, my elbow's lined up with his chin, and he goes 2 for 1, let that slip so that your wrist is in here nice and deep. Don't grab your bicep, grab your forearm, and then just curl it in like this. Like I don't go like this because he's holding it down. Go like this, like here, and that's going to make the, see here? So he's holding it, and I just go here, and that makes it choke. Okay. So that's one reason why you don't want to do just 2 for 1. Good to do for 1, 2 for 1. You should do 2 for 1, but then you need to do more with it. So what you're going to do here, he's attacking my back. Just go ahead and just get your hooks in and everything. He's got his hooks in. Again, I want to be trying to settle down and get my shoulders more around his hips so I can kind of defend here for a minute, okay? Now, open your arms so they can see. I'm going to put this hand like under my armpit here. I'm going to bring this hand behind my back, and I'm going to be bringing my chin in like this, so I'm kind of defending my back and making this more difficult for him to go. So he's trying to get that choke in there, and I'm trying to defend that, okay? So what I want to do is I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to make a little space here, right here, and then when his hand comes through to attack my chin, so I'm defending on that there. See that right there? When that hand comes through, I'm going to actually let that get through. I'm going to catch that glove, this hand here. We'll catch it. Now I'm going to lift it. And see when I extend that arm comes here. Now I've got 2 for 1, but it's on the other side. And I want to come down in this position here. Now I can either try to attack from the arm bar, like from here. I can hold this here and pull the elbow down. And that gets the shoulder lock. It's very important. Don't worry about pushing this up. Hold this to your body. And take your ear and your hand and bend the elbow down. That's how you get this shoulder lock, okay? And these are things that are going to make him want to unhook. So sometimes you can actually squeeze that hook so that he can't go, and you can get that shoulder lock in. But if not, then you're going to try to go ahead and make your pass, get control. You can come around here, and now we can attack our darts or whatever you want to do off this control here. So when you get 2 for 1, however it is that you ended up getting 2 for 1, your goal is to let your shoulders and your deltoids get up and get that hand to the opposite side so that now when he's trying to choke, that it's very difficult to get the other hand across too instead of having to go back and forth. Get that on there. So as soon as we get 2 for 1, instead of just going, okay, I got 2 for 1, I'm going to hold on and relax here. And he starts working all this stuff over there. When he gets 2 for 1, boom, work here and work on getting it down to the side and then try to work on defending. Like I said, even if you don't do anything but escape, and come around and attack here, you know, maybe working for your dorsals or something here. That's fine, but make every effort to get it on the other side. Some other little details. A lot of people don't know or care or think it makes a difference, but it does. If he has the rear naked choke, put the rear naked choke on, but don't squeeze hard. If I fall stem side down, for example, I kind of lock it all into place, and it's going to be much harder for me to turn into him and make this happen here, okay? So I really don't want to fall with this stem side down. So if you do have to do there and you got in that position, you're going to want to fall stem side up and control it, push on that elbow, try to get your shoulders between you and him, make that space and make that break and come out. So we want to go, as we're spinning and looking into the choke, that the stem side is up and available, okay? So it should look like this. He's attacking. Okay, I'm scooting down. Boom, there's 2 for 1. Boom, I'm attacking here. And I'll work into this one here. Okay? All right, so those are a couple little details that we're kind of speeding through, but to help out. Another thing, too, sometimes, lay on your side here. Sometimes, maybe I ended up with a head arm like this right here, and people are always going, oh, well, I'm going to get my leg over here and take his back and attack his back. So they bring their leg over here, and then he pops out, attacks my back, and he gets me in the choke, or however he's going to do. Okay, so you should get the underhook on the other arm, but for some reason you ended up in this position, and he controls your leg. Okay, so he gets that hook in. I'm going to step back, see how he's got that locked in there. When he does, I'm going to go ahead and lock it in. He's got that figure 4 lock. I'm in jeopardy here of him taking my back. So I'm going to take my foot, put my foot in front of his foot. I put my hip here. Now when I bridge, it breaks his ankle. Okay, just like that right there. Okay, so we're going to be here. He tries to get his leg over. Boom. I kick, defend it, but he pulls me backwards, and then I have to step, and then he gets it. I step back. I let him get his figure 4 lock the way he likes it. Bring it back in front. Goes here. Then I bridge this away. And go ahead and it'll either break his ankle or break free. And I can make this escape. Another cool thing about that is that I like to do, sometimes I even bait the guy into this. If the guy's got a really good back game, then obviously don't bait him into anything. But, you know, if he's just average and you understand this. So I'll give him that. He'll lock that in. Now, see, when I lift that up, you can just turn. And then when I make the rotation, it'll put him right into the knee bar on that one right there. Sometimes I can do it when he's here. and my leg's up. He's trying to take my back, and I'm defending. See, I'll just rotate my head down here, and then I can bring my arm even to the side. See, now I can just catch that one. See, and attack it. Bring it in, and attack here. Attack here. Like that. Here. Like this. Okay, so we can attack either leg with the knee ball. Okay, we're going to work on a couple tips again for some Hayastan catch wrestling. We're going to do a little footlock thing for some buddies of mine, a couple deals. So my buddy Randy Spades, he's going to be helping us out. Okay, one of the things we had questions about, if we're on the same side and you're going for like maybe a 50-50 here, different things I can show you guys to do. Maybe your leg's on the inside. Let's work it like this maybe so we don't have to worry about anything about the knees. But normally, like say you're going for a straight ankle lock in this position here. And so as I'm holding it, you know, maybe I'm liking this and I'm going back to the side, whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is a variation off the straight ankle lock. It's going to basically turn into an inverted heel hook type of situation. So what I'm going to do is my toes go in the armpit, and you see how his foot has this arch here? You want to take this arch, and this arch is going to be turned so that it comes in line with my pec like this. And then you're basically going to lock this here. So as I turn my back, see, that's going to put that pressure there, okay? So if, say he's in I can't put my leg over him because it's illegal or whatever. I can just simply put my leg on the inside here. So if I split it here, just instep, see that? It's lined up with my pec. I can trap his leg and completely legal. But as he goes that way, it's breaking his foot and leg sideways. Okay, so I don't have to worry about going back like that right there. So anytime you find yourself in that situation, maybe I'm like this right here, and I'm trying to look up and get this lock here, and maybe he's whatever. I can just push this down, and see as that rolls and that pops out, it's much worse on him than just trying to go straight back. Okay, so maybe I'm in this situation here, okay, and he grabs my arm, and I'm not able to fall back. See, I can get that turn and turn it up on the inside without having to go back. I just focus more on the lift. And see, actually now, as he pulls me, the closer I come to him, then the worse it's going to be. Okay, I don't have to go back. I want to be taking the toe forward and popping that out right there. So that's a good lock and good variation. You can do it from about anywhere. A lot of times you can even say he's here and he's got my leg, and you can be in a cross position. So hold that. So he's here, and we're kind of both here. We're both maybe attacking for the heel hook or whatever. Maybe he puts his leg up on top of this leg to protect, like this. Relax. Stop. Relax. Relax your knee.
Oh, my knee.
Boom. Okay, so he's protecting his foot with his foot, see? So I come underneath, like he's here. See how he's like lifted? Come on this angle here, see? You're fine. You hold this. Okay. This is in jeopardy of going here, so I want to take this foot, come underneath the heel, and pull that off. Like I'll just lift that off. So he's got the heel, and boom, I'm going to keep my feet together. So in the process of him defending, I try to keep my feet together, keep him down on the bottom. He's here. He's trying to defend his. See, if I go here with this one, it doesn't roll. See, I can use that. I don't have to. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't have to have this leg controlled like normal. So if I'm trying to get this one, he's trying to defend with this one. As I come in and I catch it, see, I can roll that back. And now, finish it. See, try to escape, go somewhere now. See, like that, because it's turning it this way. So it's more of twisting his foot backwards that direction. So that's a good way to make that work out for you. And that was one of the questions that we had from some of the people on how to make that work. So the points to make that solid. Toes need to be in the armpit. Come around behind me on this side over here. I'm in this situation. If you can see the toes, when he goes to make a boot, it's going to slip, and I don't have any leverage to roll that foot in. So when you get that, the toes are in the armpit, and my heel's here, so that I can get that turn going, and when he tries to make a boot, it doesn't push through. And I can control this here, and it helps keep the knee in. Okay, a lot of times, even if the leg is really straight, like this right here. Now, like I like to go like this, and try to work it here. And so if I go ahead and lock this in that position, as this leg comes over, you see it's already just the process of going over. But a lot of times they won't let you put your foot over And so, and that's the good thing about this one, is I just take this foot behind the knee, and you get that finish there. So if you have a gi or whatever, so I just lock that in, and again, just by lining up my pec muscle, is making a good body connection with his instep, and then it's just bringing, nothing with my arms, bringing my deltoid back, flexing my pec. Like make your chest big, your deltoid back, and that'll snap that ankle there for you. So that's how we control that one there. So that's the tip on that particular lock that we want to work on. Give me 1 second, guys. To do these competitions, and they're making everything illegal. So you have your gi on now. Come around on this side over here. I'm going to grab the tail of my gi, and I'm going to put that right on his ankle, just like this. I put my forearm in line with his heel. As this foot is here, I lean back. That's going to break his foot. I don't have to bring my leg over. I don't have to do anything. As a matter of fact, I can figure for his leg all the way to here, be completely in front of it. Doesn't matter, but a lot of times you can just get completely away from it. No problem. So best time to do this, like maybe you're here and you're in the guard, you just wrap that up. Once you get control of that, let's just set through it. And then there you go. Just control that leg. The forearm is there. This part of your tail is right there on that. If he's particularly strong, which I've never seen by that particular strong, heck, you can grab it with both hands and just turn it. Boom. So that's using your gi to get your ankle lock, get your toe hold going. The gi is so tight, takes the sweat away, doesn't slip. You're going to get that really good and strong in that position there. So a lot of times I've seen guys when they're grappling, and this is tight, and they have a big hard time with getting this hand underneath here. Bring that there. Done. Okay, this leg can't go over. Done. Okay. Even here, like they'll go, oh, you can just sweep him that way. See? Let's go. Yeah, see? Even here, now it's going to, when I pull, see, it's going to be a straight ankle lock just by holding him down on his belly. And I'm pushing, I'm holding his toe down, and I lift his heel. And it works just like a regular straight. So don't forget to use your gi if you're doing gi jiu-jitsu. Gi locks, that's a very handy one to do. Controlling that. Now let me show you that Z-lock, what we were talking about a while ago. Some people, I don't know why they call it that. It's not what we call it. I don't guess we call it anything. But the cool thing about this is setup is if he's holding my gi, like here and here, see, I can't fall back for the straight ankle lock. Does that make sense? But I can put my knee, I can grab here, put my knee underneath, and then as I lean down, see, because I block his knee. Now I don't have to go backwards. I just bring my elbow towards the floor, and then I catch that lock here. Okay, so I was going for the straight. Oh, I can't get back. Knee comes underneath. Boom. You can lock it here. Boom. Like that right there. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why that lock comes in handy. All right, good job. Hope that helps a couple of you guys. Thanks. We're going to give you a cool tip for the way people defend their Kimura sometimes, and how to do a sneaky submission from catch wrestling. And I think you guys will like this and stuff. Okay, so I'm down, and he's down, and I'm in this position, and I'm getting ready to catch. Maybe I'm going to come over, turn his head down, come back, and I work for the Kimura here, or maybe I fall across, and I'm getting the Kimura here. So him knowing that, he's doesn't want me to control his head. That's his best thing. So what he's going to do, when I come here, he wants to keep that knee off his head. Yeah, with his hand, whatever. This is better. Keeps that off. He keeps his chin down, keeps his head down. And he's going to be trying to turn out or whatever. But he absolutely, for sure, is going to try to keep his head protected and keep my leg off his head, if he feels like that's what I'm going to attack for the Kimura. So in that process, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of push him forward a little bit and trap his shoulder blade right here. See this? I want to trap him with my knee so that when he tries to come towards me, it's a little more difficult. So I'm here, I'm going to bring him forward, and I've got him trapped on my thigh. At that process, I'm going to kind of give a little pressure And maybe I'm going to go like this and see how he defends. This hand is going to come through, and it's just going to drive it straight. And then that one there is going to drive straight there. So he's caught into that stocks position, and then just by pushing down, he's caught in a full Nelson. Okay. It sometimes puts you to sleep because of the choke. He'll wake up here in a second. He'll be fine. Just give him a minute. But it becomes a choke from the angle that it pushes there. So, you all right, Bubba?
Did I pass out?
Sorry about that. But anyway, so it puts a lot of pressure forward, kind of locks that thing. It's a really neat, tricky little catch wrestling submission. And they go out a lot of times and not aware that they. It's kind of funny, huh?
Just a matter of seconds.
Wait a minute, am I asleep?
You were snoring like a bear, but
Yeah. So, anyways, kind of neat little submission. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks. We're going to be working some old school catch wrestling, sambo type moves. I first saw this move a lot of years ago, like in '93, '94, with Dan Anasanto, the JKD group, Yuri Nakamura, and then over the years, just had forgot about it. I haven't done it in decades, and would have been completely lost. Then a guy, Vladislav Kulikov, a Russian guy trained at the most prestigious school in Moscow, very good world champion sambo guy. Very Russian name. I'm very Southern, hard for me to pronounce. I am going to put a link to his DVD series on my wall. Great guy. I was talking to him today, and this was his signature move in like 2003, 2005, and he kind of forgot about it, quit using it. And he was like, I'm going to go back to using that. And so we were discussing that, and I was going to go, I really like that move, and I can't believe I forgot about that, and all my guys have missed out on that. So I'm going to show you this move. It's a very, very good move. You can get it from side control, north, south, whatever. The easiest to kind of show it's going to be north-south. So what I'm going to do is as I get this elbow tied up, my goal is going to be to wrestle as I come around and clock around from north-south to side control, is to get his elbow pinned up here level with his deltoid or even above and get all my weight on it and get it trapped. So as he's in this position blocking it, I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to block his elbow, and I bring my left hand goes through and my thumb comes up like I'm hitchhiking right level with his elbow. Okay, my elbow over here is going to slide to the ground, which kind of locks, my hand's on his elbow here, and I'm going to lock, my elbow goes to the ground above his deltoid. That locks that in place. This hand's going to come around, fight for the underhook, and I'm going to take my deltoid and I drive it. Now I trade places. My elbow's on the other side, and now my deltoid is locking his elbow above his shoulder. And then from here, I just look up, and I get that break. So we're right here. A lot of downward pressure. The only thing, I don't let this elbow come up like this. The elbow stays pinned. The only thing that moves is the wrist and my left shoulder is coming up. If you really don't like the guy, you can set through like this with a case katami type movement. Okay, so one more time. He's going to be here defending. I'm going to control that elbow. I'm going to snake that through, get my elbow down to the ground, lock that underhook, wrestle around, get his elbow pinned above, holding him down nice and tight, and then just elevate that. You can see I'm using my head, deltoid, chest, everything to trap that elbow on his body. Lots of downward pressure. Now, see, I'm only getting like a 1/4 inch movement before he taps. If you come in close and look at my elbow to the top of his head, if I've got a lot of pressure, my elbow will never even clear. So it's not even clearing off of his head. If you feel like you're getting way up here like this, then you don't have enough pressure on the elbow, or his elbow's too low. Okay, that's going to be a common mistake. So don't get around here like this, and you're kind of Frank Mirroring it, like Frank Mir did with the guard. It's the same kind of energy. But you need to be wrestling him down to really get this the way I like it. Okay, trap that down there. Okay, so appreciate it. Good move. We don't have a name for it, but we talked about it. We're going to kick this to Eddie Bravo, and hopefully he'll give it a wicked name, and maybe we'll bring it back into popularity. But anyway, thank Vladislav Kulikov for bringing it back to my memory, or it would have been lost forever. And his variation of how he does it, very cool, very good DVD series.